So actually, this is I modified according to my requirement. Okay, but we have a workday standard workbook that I will bring maybe in our might be on Friday. I'll bring the document. And this one I'm just showing the sample one which we have.
Okay.
Okay, which I extended this one because this one of my customer, what we did is we deployed this benefits project for multiple countries like for US and Canada, and also another rollout for ANG, I mean Australia, another rollout for European countries like that. Okay, fine.
Okay.
So this is I modified, but actually the Workday standard workbook definitely doesn't have all these details. I just updated for myself. Yeah. Right. So yeah, I will also explain how we have configured, but let me go up through first the overview part. Right. So benefit plans. In Workday, benefit plans are classified into 6 types. Okay, 6 types it has been classified. I will show in another slide. For the 6 plans, whenever you're configuring, we need to create or define some benefit components, some benefit related components. Okay, for example, if I'm creating a benefit plan and I must create the components first, like prerequisites, dependencies, we can say. Okay, that is provider, coverage targets, benefit coverage types, benefit group or eligibility rules, rates, plan year definition, cross-plan dependencies. Again, I'm repeating, high level we're discussing. From tomorrow, we'll configure in the tenant from the scratch.
Yeah.
Okay. Benefit plan. Assume you are creating a benefit plan healthcare plan. Okay, healthcare plan you are creating for USA. What details first we need? We need provider detail. Who is going to be provide this healthcare benefit plan? Okay, a provider can be a MetLife, Sanctum, yes,
Sigma.
correct. Sigma, Aviva, Bupa, okay, all they are benefit providers. Okay, benefit providers. Also, definitely, okay, let me open one more document, please. We'll try to understand the relation between provider, employer, employee. Okay. Normally, we'll see 3 things here, sir. One is benefit provider, employer, employee. Benefit provider, employer, and employee. So some of the benefit plans maybe both employee, employer both needs to be contribute some percentage. Example 401k, both needs to be contribute. Some of the benefit plans only employer might contribute. A best example, a metro train ticket, or a gym allowance, or gym membership fees. Okay, those falls under employer giving benefit to an employee. Some of the benefit plans, whereas employer both needs to be contribute some percentages or amount. It depends on percentage or amount. So, example, a healthcare insurance plans. Okay, the benefit provider, first we need to configure the provider. So we have to gather the details from the customer, like who is the provider.
Yeah.
Okay, that we will create. While creating provider, we also need the tax ID and also URL of the provider so that we can allow the employees to view all the rules and regulations of the providers. Okay, that we need to configure. Again, then after coverage targets, who are going to be covered for this benefit plan? Spouse, children, parents, or even if further if you want to split, son, daughter, or child, or parents, siblings. Okay, these are nothing but coverage targets. We need to create this also. You can also call it as relationship types or dependence. That also we need. Some plans might require. Then after, we also need benefit coverage types. Benefit coverage types is, as I said, we have 6 types of benefit coverage types are available. We need to first check this plan based on the customer requirement once provided. You need to fit which coverage type is suitable for this benefit plan. Healthcare is suitable, insurance is suitable, a flexible spending account is suitable, HSA is suitable, additional benefit is suitable, or retirement is suitable. Which coverage? We have 6 types of coverage types. You need to coverage type is mandatory. So you need to first fit the benefit plan in the right coverage type. Okay, in the correct coverage type. So coverage types also we need. Again, in the coverage types, we do have multiple fields like, would you like to allow the employee to view the contribution? Would you like to allow the employee to view employer contribution? Or do you want to hide the employer contribution? Do you want to hide the coverage types? Those are controlled by the benefit coverage types. Thereafter, benefit group or eligibility rules, in which benefit group is mandatory. Eligibility rules are optional. Benefit eligibility rules. Why benefit groups are mandatory? Why benefit groups are mandatory? Because benefit group, with the help of benefit group, first you need to group employees. Example, all employees working in USA eligible for healthcare plan. Then you need to create a group that completely based on the employee country and employee status is active. Employee status must be active because some of the plans terminated employee may not get. Okay, so we'll also talk about COBRA. Okay, that's a different one. So benefit group will create based on the country and employee status should be active. I'll show how to create that. Further, eligibility rules are optional. When eligibility rules are required, employee is USA and employee status is active, plus only regular employees are eligible. So what I'm trying to say, benefit group means you're grouping all the employees based on country plus active status. That's true, right? If the employee is active, then only the employee is eligible for the benefit plan. If the employee has been terminated, the employee active status is termination status or retiree status. Employee may not be eligible for all the benefit plans. Yeah. Based on these 2 criteria, we will create the benefit group. Benefit eligibility rules mean this is optional, but let's discuss. Benefit eligibility rule means if only regular employees are eligible or only full-time employees are eligible or only employees working in Chicago location or state Illinois eligible. I'm just giving a random examples. While creating, we will discuss in detail. Only employees working in Chicago eligible. These are additional criteria. This is your group. You will assign to that benefit plan. On top of that, if you have any kind of eligibility rules, then you need to select one of the, or you need to create one of the benefit eligibility rules. Yeah. Okay. So these are benefit eligibility rules. Fine. Then we also required, because eligibility rules additionally will exclude. For example, if I select regular, which means I'm excluding contract employees, casual employees. If I say full-time, I'm excluding part-time employees for the benefit plan. Correct, sir? Or if I say Chicago, except Chicago, rest of the locations, I'm excluding all the employees like that. Okay. Then rates. Rates are nothing but rates. Again, we have multiple depending on the plan. For some plans, the contribution, the amount of contribution could be amount, which means a flat amount, or it also can be a percentage. Sometimes like 10% on the base pay, 5% on the total compensation, Okay, we have amount or percentages. Also, for some plans like healthcare plans, so we do have a age-related factor. Based on the age, the amount will keep increasing. Okay, if the employee age is 30 to 40, one rate. If the employee is 40 to 45, one rate. If the employee age is 45 to 50, one rate. Similarly, if the employee smoke, then the employee rate will be different. Okay, so this is also, it's like the amount is completely based on the age, or we do have based on the years of service, employee work years of service. This is also Workday is suitable to configure. There is nothing but rate. Okay, employee contributions. Then the next component is a plan year definition. Plan year definition. Whenever we create a benefit plan, you must map, okay, benefit plan year definition. So some of the customers, the plan, okay, let me put it in this way. If you create any new benefit plan, it is mandatory you must map under this plan year definition. In this plan year definition, we have two fields: start of date, end of date. For example, if start of date I gave 1/1/2023, and the end of the date on the plan year definition I've given 31/12/2023, which means any employee can enroll into the benefit plan from this date up to this date.
Yeah.
Okay, up to this date. Now here is the one catch. Once assume the 2023 we moved to the 2023, 31/12/2023 we moved, like 2024 calendar has been triggered. We have to take a decision over there before itself. This is one of the year-end check. We have to add this to year-end checklist. Either extend this date to 2024, either extend this date to 2024, or create a brand new plan year definition and give the dates to 1/1/2024 to 31/12/2024.
Okay.
Up to customers call which of they want. What
Okay.
it will do here. So sometimes every year new plans will be added, existing plans will be removed. Correct. So some changes will be happening. You may require to inactivate certain benefit plans as well. Right. In such scenarios, this will be very helpful. So plan year definition is one of the mandatory. You must map the plan here, and then only you are able to assign the plan to an employee, or employee able to assign the plan to themselves. Another one, sometimes if any customer recently went to go like newly on benefits, if someone ignored this one, they have not extend the date, all the benefit plans assigned to the worker won't be available. Sorry, it won't be visible unless you will extend the date. Once the calendar date has changed to 1/1/2024, if they forgot to extend this date, all the benefit plans are expired. Immediately you need to extend the date, or else the plan won't be available. Plans won't be available. Okay.
Yeah.
So practical I will show once we configure. Then cross-plan dependencies. This is optional, not mandatory. Cross-plan dependencies. So what do you mean by cross-plan dependencies? The cross-plan dependencies means sometimes what happens, select only one plan, or select plan A and plan B. To make it simple, select either of the plan. You are not eligible for both the plans, only one plan you can select. Or select plan A and plan B both. If you have such requirements, cross-plan dependencies are eligible. I will make it simple. For example, sometimes an employee in company, they may allow employee to choose only, assume there are two plans, benefit plan A, benefit plan B. Now, customer may allow employee to enroll only into one plan, either A or B. If employee enroll into benefit plan A, employee not supposed to enroll into benefit plan B. Workday should give error message here, strictly saying that you are not eligible to this benefit plan B since you have selected benefit plan A. Which means out of two plans, employee eligible for only one plan, not two plans.
A
Okay.
or B.
Yeah, perfect. Right, sir. Similarly, sometimes what happens, some customers may have requirements A and B, either A or B or A and B. If you select plan A, it is mandatory you need to enroll into the plan B. Okay. If you have
Okay.
such requirements, then you need cross-plan dependencies. Cross-plan dependencies. Okay. It's just an overview. Tomorrow we'll configure all the data.
Yeah.
However, we will create this as well. Yeah. Then these are the components in order to create the benefit plan. Okay. I have created the benefit plan with these components. What next? I need to assign the benefit plan to an employee. For that, what components we need? Let's see that. Okay, I will come here in a while. Yeah. If you want to assign a benefit plan to an employee, we need two things here. One is enrollment event type. Another one is enrollment event rule. Enrollment event type, enrollment event rule. And these both, enrollment event type, enrollment event rule, will be assigned to the coverage type. This is one of the component you can see here, coverage type. Under this, we'll create two different components, event type, enrollment event rule, and assign to the benefit coverage type.
Okay.
What exactly these two? These two will play a key role while you assign a benefit plan to any employee or dependents. How? Let's see. Enrollment event type is nothing but a reason. Why are you assigning this benefit plan to an employee? What is the reason? It can be a new hire. During new hire, you are assigning the plans to an employee. Or it can be, let's say,
Life events,
life
like
events. Yeah, correct.
newly married.
Married, child adoption, child.
Yeah.
Correct. Very good. So life events. Okay, there's a reason. Correct. If you want to assign a plan, you need a reason. If you're removing a plan from an employee, you need a reason. Waive off or assign. So the reasons are nothing but enrollment event types. And these not only the reasons, it does play a key role, especially for particular scenario if you want to trigger or assign certain benefit plans. Example, if you promoting an employee, all eligible plans must be triggered for the employee along with the promotion. So you need to create certain rules that map with enrollment event rules. And also you need to create the conditions on the respective business processes. So we will talk in detail. For now, please consider this as a reasons. Then enrollment event rule. Enrollment event rule plays a key role. It's like a centralized control. Centralized control when you would like to assign a plan to an employee, when you want to deduct the deduction start from the employee, when you want to remove the plan from the employee, will be controlled by, or if there is any waiting period, will control by this enrollment event rule. So let me explain in detail. Normally we'll have under enrollment event rule, we have these four criteria. So as I said, UI, okay, let me explain here. Start or waive coverage. It consists coverage begin date. From when this coverage needs to be start, immediate effect from today itself, or December 1st next month 1st itself, or mid of this month itself, or I will assign plan today but effective from December 1st, something like that. I'll walk through. And also it controls when the deduction should start, immediate effect or future date. Or is there any waiting period? Employee needs to complete 30 days or 6 months notice period, 3 months notice period, then only employee eligible. Is controlled by the starter wave of coverage. Excuse me. And loss of coverage, which means sometimes you may have to revoke or remove the benefit plans from the employees. Correct? It can be employee termination or employee some death or whatever, or termination is due to any reason. We need to remove these benefit plans from employees. Correct? So that time coverage ended from when this plan should be end for the employee coverage. So from when the deduction should end for the employee, we'll have these details. Okay. So this is what I'm saying. So I said one topic I'm not able to cover, EOI, or you can call it as ACA, Affordable Care Act. This is the only one, but I'll provide more details. At high level, for hourly wage employees, they must work certain hours. If they don't work certain hours, automatically they will lose the plan. Okay, so we have certain controls. I will walk through a document on this. Then coverage rules. This does plays a key role. Changes allowed. When you want to allow the employee to change, dependent changes. Okay, dependent changes or coverage target changes allowed. Any new dependents you want to add, or do you want to remove existing dependents? Any that also. On valid dependents, you are assigned the benefit plan to a valid dependents or not. And defaulting rule. So when you would like to default the benefit plans to an employee, priority, coverages, priorities we can define, coverages we can define. Also, you can remove the plans based on this defaulting rules. This is controlled by this enrollment event rules. So I will discuss in detail while we configure. Of course,
Okay.
you are gonna get the Workday certification material for your practices. I will also give you some additional activities to configure the plan. Example, something like this. I'll give the requirement. So expectations, you need to configure the plans. Okay, we will support that. Yeah. Okay. Where is our slide? Yeah. Then I'll just take one step back. Plan types. So as I said, different customers may have different types of requirements, especially in the benefit plans, different types of requirements. So as a consultant, we need to understand the requirement and analyze the benefit plan will fit under which plan type, which coverage type. Okay, this is the one of the biggest challenge, I would say. Not a challenge, and once we do practice, once we deploy twice, it's easy to identify. Okay, like this is the only one of the trickiest part. The reason is once you create the any coverage type and assign the plan to an employee, you don't have an option to delete the coverage type later.
Okay.
Okay, that's one of the it's not a challenge, I would say. It's one of that's how Workday has set up.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have to ensure this plan will fit under which type. Okay, that's one. So we have 6 types of coverage types. Healthcare. So all healthcare plans you can assign under healthcare, like Medicare, dental, or healthcare classifications. We have a dependent eligibility rule, coverage target, healthcare rates. If you choose this one, you need to ensure classifications you need to create dependent eligibility. For example, a healthcare plan might be only spouse is eligible, not children. If someone try to enroll the children, the plan should not allow them. It should not be available to assign. Correct?
Okay.
So we can control with the eligibility rule. Coverage targets. Who are all eligible for this healthcare? And what are the rates, percentage, flat rate, the details. HSA spending account, these are exclusive for USA, sir. Exclusive for USA. So I have deployed globally, but none of the country has these requirements. This falls under flexible spending account. So HSA, health savings account. So here we'll have employee maximums per annum or quarter per month contributions or an employer contributions. Similarly, spending account, employee maximum and employer contributions we will have. We'll create these two too. Then insurance plan. I would say,
Sorry.
huh?
On the healthcare plan, the first one we have the healthcare classification.
Correct.
What is that healthcare classification?
Classifications like dental, vision, some other components we can classify. EHP, you might know about.
Health, okay.
Yeah, EHP, VP, VHP, something.
Medical, okay.
Medical, yeah. We'll create those classifications. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Then insurance. So in my experience, the trickiest part of configuration is this one and this one. Trickiest configurations. Okay. Rest are like straightforward and easy. Okay. So if you ask me why it is tricky, because a lot of configurations we need to do backend to bring this plan into live. Okay. Here, insurance coverage and levels. Like a best example is sometimes the insurance coverage, again, it will be different to customer. Coverage will be flat. It's like 10% on total base pay. Or, okay, this is one example. Just 10% it will pick up the employee salary, and on that top of that 10% will be calculated. Or the insurance coverage could be a flat amount, like thousand US dollars per month. Okay. Or the coverage will be something like this: employee salary multiply by 10 times, 10x. And this is also, the numbers also, it could be flat amount, or some companies, what they will do, depend on the coverage again. If an employee is executive level, employee salary multiply by 10 times of the salary will be coverage. If the employee is management, employee salary multiply by 5 times. If the employee is non-management, employee salary multiply by 2 times. It will be different again based on the management level.
Yeah.
So we need to check one plan will be fit in that case. Do we need to get 3 different plans for each member? Or some customers have a requirement, allow the employee to choose how much coverage they need. Allow the employee itself how much coverage they need. They need 10x, or I'll give here only, or 9 times of the base pay, 8 times of the base pay, or 7 times of the base pay, something like that. So, but here, whenever they select the particular 9 times, 8 times, 7 times, the contribution amount will be changed. The charge, the employee contribution will be vary. The more select, the more contribution employee has to do, like that. Okay. So that we need to cover here. And then insurance rates, flat rates, and associate coverage rates with the plan. Of course, assign these coverages with the plan. Okay. And then we'll assign. Here, actually, for insurance and healthcare, what happened here is we have to bring the dependents also. Correct? We have to bring the dependents. Right. Yeah. Under that. So now you also have to think whether dependent eligibility rules are required or not. Fine. Then retirement savings. 401k. Right? Employer will contribute some amount based on the employee base pay. Straightforward plan it is. Okay. But so retirement savings plan is straightforward. Then additional benefit plan. This is interesting. Pet maintenance allowance, metro train ticket allowance, gym membership, cafeteria allowance, all will fall under additional. To make it simple, once you got the requirement and you realized none of the coverage types are fitting for the requirement, then the only option we have is additional. Actually, it's a savior for us. If you configure anything here, it doesn't fail because it doesn't have any conditions or criteria. Straightforward plan. Okay. So if you're confident those plans, it will be fit. Actually, as you mentioned, like conveyance allowance, we do have compensation plans are suitable. But if they want to give a ticket kind of an annual amount, employers said they would like to pay, when we can choose this one. And also, some of the plans, most of these plans are directly impacting compensation. Okay, which means for certain calculations, we also need compensation data. Example, 10% of or 5% of 401k contribution on salary. Salary is part of compensation, correct? Similarly, insurance, 10 times of salary. And these are also look into the salary details. We will also talk about how to bring the compensation data as well into benefit plan. Okay, so this we will learn, sir. Apart from that, there is one more thing I would like to highlight. Of course, enrollment instructions, e-signatures, tobacco configurations, everything is there. There's a straightforward we will talk. We do have another concept called passive event. Passive event. Have you heard about this one? Passive event rules?
Yeah.
Right. Something like this. Let's say
Reason why maybe some of the dependents can lose a part,
yeah,
certain benefits.
exactly. So passive event rules, if employee dependent child reaches to age 21 or 24, employer dependent child no longer eligible for this plan. So automatically, once the child age triggered to 24 or 21, depends on the country and the requirement, the plan won't be available to the employee. Should remove the plan directly from the employee. Okay, the dependent will lose the coverage as per the customer's requirement. Additionally, we can also send a reminder notification to the employee, so that employee should not be in shock. Employee should not be raise a concern saying that how come you removed my dependent from the coverage.
Okay.
Before 1 week itself, we will trigger a message to the employee. So on so date, your dependent is reaching to the age 24. Hence, the plan is no longer available. If you need any additional information, please do reach out to your benefit administrator. So like that, we can configure. Okay. So these are all we are going to learn from tomorrow.